So let's talk about a feeling that so many of us have, but we don't really have the words for it. It's the sense that you feel way older than you actually are. And I'm not talking about wrinkles or anything like that. It's something deeper, almost in your bones. I mean, seriously, have you ever felt this, that you're just a little out of step with everything? Like the rhythm of the world today doesn't quite match your own internal beat? If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are in very good company. Yeah, it's this feeling that just won't go away, that you're somehow out of sync. For a lot of us, this comes from being part of what you could call a bridge generation. You have these vivid memories of life before the internet was everything, but now you live your whole life in it. You basically have a foot in two completely different worlds. And what happens when you're living in two worlds at once? Well, it creates this quiet exhaustion. And this isn't about getting negative or jaded. No, it's a very specific kind of tiredness that comes from just trying to keep up with a constant, nonstop churn of new trends, new tech, new rules. Let's be honest, it's a lot to take in. So where does this feeling really come from? Well, it seems to boil down to this one really powerful idea. You're a witness to a vanishing world. You hold a real, actual memory of a way of life that, for all intents and purposes, is just gone. I want you to just take a second here and think back. Like, really think back. What did your childhood actually sound like? What did things feel like or smell like? How did you find out what your friends were up to or what was going on in the news? I mean, that world's had a totally different soundtrack, right? The screech of a dial-up modem, the clunk of a payphone, the hiss of a TV signing off for the night. The rules were different. The whole pace of life was different. You could actually get bored. And being alone wasn't weird. It was just normal. And this is the key, right here. This isn't just about feeling nostalgic for the good old days. The change has been so fast and so complete that the world from just 20 or 30 years ago has fundamentally vanished. And if you lived through that, you didn't just get older, you basically went through a massive cultural migration without ever leaving home. Okay, so we've lived through all this change. So what do we actually call the effect it has on us? Well, there's a really great term for it: the pull of emotional gravity. It's that heavy feeling you get from the sheer weight of all that transition. And this quote, wow, it completely reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? It suggests that feeling old isn't about you being irrelevant or out of gas. It's actually a signal from your nervous system basically saying, hey, I've been working overtime for years trying to adapt to all this crazy change. So let's put a pin in it. Emotional gravity. It's that deep psychological pull you feel toward things that are familiar, things that are stable and predictable. After you've been tossed around on these huge waves of change, your mind and body just instinctively start looking for solid ground. And this chart, man, this really hits home, right? It shows this huge gap between what the world seems to expect from us and what we're actually feeling inside. We're told to have endless energy and always want the next new thing. But what we're really craving is just some quiet and stability. So what's the result of living with that gap? Well, it completely shifts what you care about. You start to find yourself craving steadiness, not all the noise. Your values actually start to rearrange themselves around things that feel like they're going to last. And you can see this shift so clearly when you look at the choices we start making, almost without realizing it. We start trading the noise of endless scrolling for the steadiness of getting lost in a good book. We care less about viral trends and hot takes, and a whole lot more about real, lasting connections. So here's the most important takeaway from all of this. If this is you, if any of this sounds familiar, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system isn't broken, it's not giving up, it's actually doing something really smart. It's recalibrating. It's trying to find balance in a world that feels totally out of balance. Which brings us to a completely new way to think about all this. Let's reframe that inner age of yours. Maybe that old feeling has less to do with the number of candles on your cake and everything to do with the amount of history your body and mind have had to navigate. So instead of looking at this feeling as some kind of a drag, what if we see it for what it really is? It's a sign that you've navigated a huge cultural shift. It means you've adapted to massive technological change. You carry the memory of a world that doesn't exist anymore. And because of all that, you've developed a taste for substance over all the static. It's a sign of experience, not weakness. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What if that feeling of being old isn't a bug, it's a feature? What if it's simply the proof that you've had to navigate incredible change, and in doing so, you've just lived a very, very deep life?